Hey guys, it's Beloved here coming to you with another review-ish thoughts video, and today I'm going to be speaking about Clannad. Now Clannad was tear-jerking. I don't understand why would you create that, but it's a very good story. I would give it a 10 out of 10. It's one of the better animes that I've watched. I'd put it in my top 5, if not maybe number 1 at this point. But it's very good. The character development is solid, the soundtrack is awesome, everything about this anime is good, except maybe the first one. It wasn't the best animations, but you could understand it was back in like 2007-8, so you can understand in that area. But oh my god, it's so touching. And you see, if you stick with it to the end, you will be satisfied if you have a little bit of common sense to understand the ending. At first, I did not get the ending in full. I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, things are escalating so quickly. I could not process it. So I had to like rewatch certain parts, and I'm like, oh, I understand certain parts. And I'm like, oh, but it's a very good anime. I do recommend it. It's very, very good. Alright, so now my thoughts on certain aspects on it. I think they brought out everything how they should have. Like, it starts off with a girl in a place by herself, and you would never have guessed that that moment would set the tone for the rest of the anime. Like, it, even though throughout the anime you see no connection between the two worlds or whatever, or you cannot see a direct connection, in the end everything is just automatically explained without being explained. Now what I think now, basically you have more than one future, as Q's sister said. Now Okazaki went through his first lifetime, the first original, where he met Nagisa. They got married, Nagisa died. Ushio got raised by her grandparents and they brought her back and she died. Now that's the first playthrough, right? But in this world, while Okazaki was growing up, he was helping a lot of people, and you have certain orbs in that city that represent happiness. So that happiness was being collected in the other world where the girl is, who was later on found out to be Ushio, and the robot, who is later on found out to be Tomoyo. Now you have alternate selves, so that's Tomoyo's alternate present in that world. Now, because he did so much good deeds, and earlier in the first one, there's a cat who did his master's willings after he died using a wish, a orb that he said. So basically these orbs can grant wishes. But Okazaki collected so many orbs, he could get a miracle. So now when Ushio died, I believe that his mind just depleted from the current world that he was in. He just did not want any of it. So his whole consciousness flowed over into the next world, where Ushio finally awakes because she fell asleep in the last episode. She couldn't move or anything. So basically she was like practically dead in both worlds. But she woke up and she explained it. She said that he was her father. When she was dying, she was like, goodbye papa, which means that he was her father. And that's when he noticed that if he doesn't meet Nagisa the second time, Ushio would never have existed. So he decides to take the risk. Now, when he got sent back in time, it's just basically due to him finally asking for a wish. He asked to save Ushio. He asked Nagisa to save Ushio. Now that's not possible because Nagisa is dead. But he had so many wishes, or so many orbs, you can call it that he had the option. He got granted the option to go back in time and to choose if he wants to meet Nagisa or not, knowing fully what will happen or what might happen if he meets Nagisa. And he was going to make her walk past. But while in the other world, where he realized that if he doesn't meet Nagisa, Ushio would not even exist, or anything wouldn't even happen, he decides that he's going to take the risk, and he turns around and he calls her. Now Nagisa, somehow knowing what is happening, she's glad that he decides to meet her again for the second time and to take that risk with her because she loves him and he loves her. Now I think it just automatically fast forwarded to the point where she was giving birth to Ushio. I think it did that because I think he literally did it, and he did not actually go back to his life because they did not want him to, like, you know, mess up the current age. They wanted to have the same setting, so this brought him to the next part where it had a change in his life. So the next part where it has a change in his life would have been where Yoshio was being born. And the difference now, when he comes back to his consciousness, he realizes that he's in that situation. Here, the baby is born, he hears her crying, and Nagisa has her eyes closed. So he's basically like, is this going to happen again? He's remembering it happening before. But this time Nagisa opens her eye and she asks, what's wrong? And he replies and he says, we were just together, right? That means he is fully aware of what is going on, and she says, I'm not sure if she's aware at this point, but she says we've always been together. So I can assume that she might know what's going on, she might know the situation, he might know the situation. It's a very supernatural show. I guess that's not really a plot hole, but it's something that's not going to really be explained right now or ever, but you can theorize what you want it to be. So in this future now, Yoshio lives without inheriting the disease from her mother, and Nagisa lives and Tomoya lives, so they basically have a happy life. And this was due to how Tomoya did his first life, how he played through it properly. He went, he helped people, he got enough miracles, he forgave people, and the last thing he did was to accept his father, acknowledge him as his father, and to let him move on with his life. And that was the last orb that he got, that Yoshio. So I know the second part is now that some people assume that Fuuka has a big role to play in the show. I do think she has a big role because the show ended with her. Why did the show end with her? Alright, now what I can theorize is that Fuuka has some supernatural presence too, because if she wasn't dead but she was able to create an illusionary image of herself that other people could see during the times that she was in a coma, maybe she had wandered off into that world too. Some people assume that the sheeps that were created, or the sheep looking things that were created by the illusionary Yoshio was, you know, Fuuka, because when the robot got lost in the other world, Fuuka, or the sheep, kind of led him back to Yoshio, and you could basically say like he was using his scent, and Fuuka made a couple references talking about the scent of Yoshio, and that's how she found her in the end, sleeping under the tree. So I think that Fuuka does have a role to play. I think she does something. I think she's maybe the one that showed Yoshio what's happening in the other world and explain what's happening in that world. But overall, it's a very good anime. It's a very good. If I was to actually give a good explanation of my thoughts on the ending, it would take a long time, but it would be very fun to do. But I think you should watch it if you haven't watched it, and if you have not watched it, I'm sorry if you reached this far into the video listening to this rip, because I probably just spoiled everything. But if you have watched it and you do agree with what I'm saying, it's been nice to know. But that's how I think about the anime. So if you don't want the spoilers, I'll probably put it in the video too, where you can just cut off to not hear this. But yeah, it's a most watched anime. It's probably going to be a top 5, I guess, maybe a number 1. People would ask for like this is like one of those animes you see end and nobody asks for the next season because it's not needed. If they wanted to do like, you know, casual overs and stuff, I guess that could work, but it does not need a next season. It ended perfectly and it ended good. I think it should be watched. It's a very good anime, and dango. Anyways, thanks you guys for watching. See you next time.